Hi, I'm Maura Harrigan, and I'm the registered dietitian and board certified specialist in oncology nutrition at the Yale Cancer Center Survivorship Clinic. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm so happy to be able to do this virtual meeting with you for Survivor Journey's Cancer Survivorship 101. These are challenging times that we're living in with this COVID pandemic. And I'd like to address a lot of the COVID-related nutrition questions my patients ask me. But since I just came in from grocery shopping, first thing I have to do is wash my hands for 20 seconds. A lot of folks are worried about going grocery shopping. And they're worried that they'll contract the COVID virus through food. The good news is the COVID virus is not transmitted through food. It's transmitted through respiratory droplets that go into your lungs, not your digestive tract. That's why it's so important to wear a mask, not touch your face, wash your hands, and keep 6 feet distance from other people to avoid those airborne droplets. So in the grocery store, the greatest risk are the other people in the store, not the food. Now, another concern people have with in these COVID times is a lot of people have lost their jobs, and there's a lot of economic hardship out there. So I went food shopping with keeping it very cost-effective in mind, and I'd like to show you what I purchased. So when you're grocery shopping on a tight food budget, we all know that meat is one of the high price items in your bill. So I'd like to go over some alternatives to meat that are very low cost, very nutritious. Also, people have had concerns about meat and transmission of COVID virus through meat. And let me just explain this, because we've gone to grocery stores and see empty meat bins, and there have been disruptions in the food chain with meat. And we hear that there's COVID in the processing plants, and people are mistakenly thinking the COVID virus is in the meat, and that is not true. What happened is the workers in the processing plant got the COVID virus, and it spread. A lot of them were out sick. There was no one to do the jobs, and that was the disruption to the food chain. The virus was in the workers, not the meat. That's why you weren't seeing meat in the market. But again, on a budget, meat's very expensive. So let's go over some meat alternatives that are very inexpensive. And first, one of my favorites, eggs. Eggs is the perfect protein. It's versatile, they store forever. So you can have them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. So eggs are the perfect protein. On a scale, when we rate protein, it's called the biological value of protein, and the scale is 0 to 100. This is 100. All protein is rated against eggs. So eggs are your friend. Another is beans. Very inexpensive and a huge variety. These are black beans. You can have white beans, red beans, chickpeas. You can buy them dried or canned. Very economical. Then we can get into even the nut butters, like peanut butter. Great source of protein. And then get into canned goods, the canned fish. Like this canned salmon is fabulous. And on the can, there's even a recipe for making salmon burgers, or Sam burgers, I think they call them. Delicious. And then my favorite, good old tuna. Now, another backup, a dietitian favorite, is dry milk, non-fat dry milk. This is like the dietitian's protein powder. You can add this dry milk to other dishes and add protein to them. You can also reconstitute it, and you always have a quart of milk on hand. So you never have to run out for milk when you have this in your pantry. So these are kind of dietitian staples for getting good protein sources on a very tight food budget. Now next, I want to address the other part of the high grocery bill, which is produce. Many people think that to eat nutritiously means buying all your produce fresh and organic. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, that's the most expensive way to go about it. Buying organic is not essential in terms of cancer prevention. And in fact, there are very low-cost alternatives in the grocery store that actually have a greater nutrient content than the fresh produce, believe it or not. And I'd like to go over what they are. It's a variety of frozen, canned, jarred, and dried fruits and vegetables. You can really extend your food dollar by purchasing these items because they don't go bad. When you think you have to buy exclusively fresh, oftentimes a lot of it goes bad before you can even get to eat it. That's food waste. Now that's a big hit on your food dollar if you're throwing away food that you can't even eat. So this ensures that you always have nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables in your kitchen that are ready to go. So let's look at some of them. One of my favorites, frozen edamame. This makes a great snack. Frozen spinach. I add this to a variety of dishes as I'm cooking. When I'm cooking pasta, I throw frozen spinach in the boiling water and cook it with the pasta. And then when I drain the pasta, the spinach is mixed in. So there's lots of ways to add frozen spinach. Frozen fruit, one of my favorites, blueberries. Just go in the freezer, grab a handful, and throw it in a lot of things. My favorite is pancakes. Then we have jarred tomato sauce, canned tomato sauce, and one of my favorites, canned fruit, canned pineapple. I actually serve this as a snack or an appetizer. And then don't forget your dried fruits, your raisins, your apricots. So this whole array is capturing all of Mother Nature's powerful cancer-fighting compounds that we call phytonutrients that are in the colors of your fruits and vegetables. And here they are in very inexpensive forms that have great long storage life in your kitchen. Okay, so I've showed you how to lower your food costs by using meat alternatives, and also how to have a rich supply of fruits and vegetables in your kitchen through frozen, canned, and dried, and jarred, and that they actually have a greater nutrient content than fresh. Now, let's start thinking about pulling these things together and actually cooking. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to invite you into my pantry and see what I have in my cabinets to cook with. And I like to describe this as you need to create a healthy food environment in your kitchen so that everything is something that you can easily pull together for a simple, healthy, nutritious meal. And so let's see what that looks like. So let's see what's in my cabinet. I'm going to step up on a stool to show you, but I have to make a disclaimer. My cabinets are never disorganized. I did this just for this video. But to me, this is food as medicine, right? What I have represented are all the colors of the rainbow, and each color represents powerful phytonutrients that boost your immune system and lower inflammation in the body. So I have a variety of canned goods, canned pumpkin, peaches, beets, tomatoes, corn, peppers, and here are all my tinned fish. On the top I have a lot of variety of teas, which have their own cancer-fighting properties. But here I want to emphasize my spice shelf. To me, this is my supplement shelf. Right? this wide variety of spices, each contributing nutrients and also their own unique cancer-fighting properties. In particular, cinnamon, very powerful. Turmeric, very powerful. I have ground ginger. You can also use fresh ginger and also fresh turmeric. Curry. Now also in this vein, in terms of the fresh, we have garlic. It gets a little tricky with the camera angle. And onions, a variety of onions, shallots, scallions. These are the allium families, which contribute indoles, phytonutrients, which have their own cancer-fighting properties. So these are your basics that you actually cook with and add as you cook. I also want to point out a few things on the lower shelf. One is I have honey and also syrup. I use those in cooking, but remember, they're still sugars. It's not like honey and syrup are not sugar. They're still sugars, and we like to keep an eye on how much that we use of that. And also I want to bring to your attention the difference between kosher salt and just regular table salt. Kosher salt does not contain the vital nutrient of iodine that's added as a public health measure, whereas iodized salt does. So I wouldn't say use exclusively kosher salt because it is lacking iodine. So I hope this gives you a great visual of a healthy pantry. Now I'm going to take you to another cabinet and we'll take a look at some other items. So bear with me. So let's check out another cabinet up on my stool again. Again, never this organized, but for this purpose, I put the effort in. But I'd like to show the importance of nuts and seeds and dried fruit. So I have a variety. I have raisins, apricots, almonds, and one of my favorites, almonds with cocoa powder on it. Great treat. And pistachios, cashews, and some muesli, and some chia seeds. So again, a variety, adding a lot of nutrients. Next shelf are my grains. Now I want to bring this to people's attention because people think, you hear a lot about no carbs, low carbs, carbs are bad for you. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Carbohydrates are your body's preferred fuel. So I always have a variety of carbohydrates, a variety of grains. Now, what differentiates good carbs is how much fiber is in it. The more fiber, the better. So when there's a sale on pasta, I stock up. But I also have brown rice. This was a new product that I just got called Ancient Grains, and also couscous, quinoa, and good old Uncle Ben's, one of my favorites. This is what I cook when I do my rice and beans. So there is a place for grains and carbohydrates in the diet. Again, they provide the fuel for your body to run. On the upper shelves, I have all my baking products, my flours, sugars, and cornmeal, cornstarch. That's what I like to bake. So, so this is, again, a storehouse of just easy to prepare, always on hand foods to make and really round out a nutritious meal. Okay, now I'd like to talk about an important component, which is oils. So we're going to stop and show you the oil display here on the counter. Many people ask me questions about what are the best type of oils to cook with. And I like a variety of oils that each lend a different flavor to food. But there are three specifically that are, I consider, heart-healthy oils. So we're all familiar with your olive oil. That tends to have a heavier taste, but I also love cooking with canola oil and safflower oil. They tend to have a better fat profile in terms of lower in saturated fats, higher in heart-healthy monounsaturated, polyunsaturated fats. But the thing about fats and oils that you have to be mindful of is they're very concentrated in calories. You know, for every gram of fat, you get 9 calories. And remember we were talking about those carbohydrates back in the cabinet? For every gram of carbohydrate, you get 4 calories. So see the difference? Fat is a very concentrated source of calories. So when it comes to weight management, fat is really where you need to focus on trimming your portion sizes, right? And to drive that point home even further, this is 3 ounces of cheddar cheese, also a high-fat food. These 3 ounces of cheddar cheese have the same amount of fat as 5 pats of butter. So think about that. So this is an area where we really need to be mindful of portion sizes to trim excessive calories. Another issue to be aware of is our snacking habits. While we are spending more time at home due to COVID restrictions, we are also spending more time near our kitchens, and the tendency for grazing is strong and can become a weight management issue. So to help you, I put together these tasty, nutritious snacks from the groceries we bought earlier. Remember that frozen edamame? It can be steamed for a quick and tasty snack. The canned pineapple? Drain and put out with some toothpicks and see how quickly they get eaten. The peanut butter and raisins? Put on celery and create ants on a log. Remember that favorite kids' dish? You're never too old to enjoy it. Hummus can be bought ready-made or made from canned chickpeas and served with colorful peppers to capture your rainbow. Also, like cheese, seeds and nuts are very nutritious, packed with nutrients, but also packed with calories. So a handful is all you need. This COVID virus is going to be with us. And while we're waiting for testing and tracing and vaccines to be developed, it's important that we nourish our bodies and protect our bodies from within by supporting our immune system to protect ourselves against the COVID virus when we're out and about. Nourishing your body and exercising your body every day helps support your immune system. So this is what we need to do, our part, to protect ourselves against the COVID virus. Now, in the next part of the video, I'd like to just change direction a little bit, and let's just focus on the unique nutrition needs of being a cancer survivor. The nutrition strategies are the same. And I work at the Survivorship Clinic at the Yale Cancer Center, and I've been there since it opened in 2006. So over the years, I've done nutrition counseling with hundreds of cancer survivors. But I've also learned so much from talking with cancer survivors. And I've learned that cancer survivors have unique needs. One being unique needs and concerns. One being what we call cancer-related fatigue, which is really the #1 complaint of survivors when they're out of treatment. Also, there are varying degrees of fear of recurrence. And this fear of recurrence can lead to cause of concern and even confusion as to what foods you should be eating or not eating. Then also there's the challenge of achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. Now, all these issues can be addressed through the power of healthy foods. And that's what I'm here to talk about with you on this video. So the cornerstone of healthy eating is what we call a predominantly plant-based diet. And the way that visually looks is that on your plate, 2/3 of your plate are filled with foods that come from plants, and 1/3 of your plate is filled with foods that come from animals. We're using meat as a condiment. Now on the plant side of the plate, we want to see color, lots of color. The power of the nutrition is in the colors. The colors represent the powerful constellation of what we call phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, prebiotics, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory agents. So this is really food as medicine. Now, I claim to color, and my color is white. And so, meet my friend cauliflower. And what I'd like to demonstrate is one of my favorite cauliflower recipes, and it's called roasted spicy cauliflower. It is a crowd pleaser. You can use it as an appetizer or just as part of a main meal. Very simple ingredients. Take a head of cauliflower, cut it into bite-sized pieces. Now I'm going to take these and put the pieces into a bowl. All right. And to this bowl, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which to me is about 1 glove. Then 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Here's where the kick comes in. And 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And then just a smidgen of salt, kind of bring out the flavor. Now what we're going to do is just mix these ingredients together in the bowl. Toss it well to get a good distribution. This is really the hardest part of the recipe. And now we're going to take this mixture and we're going to put it on a baking sheet and just spread it into a single layer. It's ready to go into a hot oven, which is 400 degrees. I put it on the center rack, and we're going to let it cook for about 25 minutes until it's soft and a nice golden brown. Can't wait. It's going to be delicious. So while our roasted spicy cauliflower is in the oven, I want to take a moment to talk about what is the nutrition power in cauliflower. And it's a gift from Mother Nature. 1 cup actually gives 3 grams of fiber and 2 grams of protein. But it has a surprisingly high amount of vitamin C. 77% of your daily needs of vitamin C are in a cup of cauliflower. Also, it's high in vitamin K, vitamin B6, folate, and manganese. But cauliflower has tremendous compounds to protect against cancer. It's in the cruciferous family of vegetables. And I'm going to name some of these compounds, which, believe me, they're a mouthful. It does sound like a chemistry exam, but let's give it a shot. One is called sulforaphane, and another one is called glucosinolates. Now, these reduce inflammation in the body, and it reduces chronic inflammatory diseases in the body, such as heart disease, in addition to reducing cancer in the body. It reduces oxidative stress in your body. Cauliflower also contains powerful antioxidants, such as beta-carotene. Now, these protect against free radicals in your body. It's what I call Mother Nature's detoxifier. Now, there's another very powerful component in cauliflower, and it's called DIM. D-I-M is the acronym, but the name is actually diindolyl methane. You can see it's a hard one to say, that's why they call it DIM. But this is very powerful because it actually has anti-estrogen properties, which can help fight hormone-sensitive cancers such as prostate, ovarian, cervical, and breast. Now, I want to bring up a point here because DIM is now a popular supplement. And I want to caution against supplements versus getting these nutrients in whole foods as provided by Mother Nature. Supplements just give you one nutrient at a time. Now, research is moving away from looking at nutrition and nutrients in isolation. The focus is really on whole foods and healthy patterns of eating. Our body prefers to get its nutrients from whole foods. There's better absorption of these nutrients and better utilization because it's not just one nutrient, it's hundreds of nutrients in that whole food, and they actually work synergistically. So Mother Nature really packages it best. So I hope I've sold you on the power of cauliflower, and now we're going to wait for the cauliflower to be finished, and then we get to taste it. So here we have it, delicious roasted spicy cauliflower. So thank you for watching, and my wish to you all as survivors is that you feel stronger and feel more resilient and feel more empowered by nourishing your body with the wonderful foods that Mother Nature has given us. Remember, nourishing your body is your contribution to your care. So enjoy your foods, enjoy your cauliflower, and bon appetit.